And welcome back to Great News Episode 11. What a week it has been. Let's dive right in with preschool. On Wednesday, they read the story The Tree, a tree that once started as a tiny sprout, watching year after year as the owl learns to fly, as the salmon swims upstream every fall, as the wolf cries to the moon. Or I need a safe place to practice my Mickey Mouse impression. Oh boy! The tree sees all. Reiterating that every tree has a story, much like themselves, the children were then invited to use the nature that they collected to print, make, and glue on scrolls of paper, bringing together a collage of beautiful forest trees. Also, Bodhi is stuck in this tree, so if someone can take him some food and water, that's his new home now. Up next, in junior kindergarten, JK went on a field trip to our downtown branch campus. The children enjoyed observing downtown Wheeling. While looking out the large windows, Savannah said, "I really like this city." Me too, Savannah. Throughout the day, the children explored their classroom setting, danced with glow sticks, and savored every bite of the original downtown DeCarlo's. Many of the children really liked DeCarlo's, and Rowan even declared, "I really like square pizza." They spent the rest of their trip working with road crews to fill as many potholes as they could. Well done, JK. In senior kindergarten, SK kicked off this week with a funny play performed by the actors at the Towngate Theater. Mr. Tim and his fellow classmates helped them remember that they should be happy with what they have and be willing to put the work in for things that they might wish for. Emilio laughed so hard his tooth popped out. The students continue their explorations of all things space. Very curious about why Pluto was no longer considered a planet, they read Pluto, Not a Planet, Not a Problem by Stacy McNulty. Turns out Pluto hasn't been paying its space taxes to the FOP or the Federation of Planets, so it's been downgraded. Pay up, Pluto. Up next in first grade. This week, during their insect deep dive, first grade buzzed through all things bees. Students created their own bees and learned about the different types of bees. Eric Blend, a beekeeper from Wheeling, came for a visit. He talked about the life cycle of a bee, different types of bees, and where the queen bee comes from. I believe she was born in Houston, Texas. To the left, to the left. He showed students a real hive, and they even got to taste the honey from the hive. Here, Bennett shows off the latest in bee fashion. They look forward to learning about another fun insect next week. Can't wait for that. In second grade has a new money-making venture. It's called Chicken Uber. For a small fee, they will carry your chicken wherever you need it to go, as long as it isn't too far away. They are currently helping the chickens get from their coop to the garden and back. Speaking of garden, they had our friends from 4-H WVU Extension come and teach the kiddos about healthy soil. They collected a sample and will be letting second grade know what the garden needs to be most productive. Also, while digging in the garden, they found a head. If this belongs to your body, please pick it up in the main office. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well. In third grade, West Virginia Studies continued on with a discussion about coal mining. Students were able to be miners themselves, but because of pesky child labor laws, they were not allowed to go underground. Instead, just like the Keebler elves, they mined chocolate chips out of a cookie, so now they are officially miners. They turned the tables in geology by creating water tables. Students filled a small pan with earth materials such as sand, pebbles, dirt, large rocks, grass, and sticks to create a small-scale landscape. Once their miniature landscapes were perfected, water was added. Coincidentally, Alex never found his hand again. In fourth grade, their STEAM deep dive led fourth grade to explore sounds. They discovered a sound is caused by vibrations and travels in longitudinal waves. Students rotated through 6 stations to determine the amplitude, pitch, what materials insulate and conduct, and if sound travels better through liquid, gas, or solid. The fourth grade also had a special guest this week, Mrs. Wallace. That's not her. From 5th grade, came up to teach a mini social-emotional learning lesson on self-control and its importance in 5th grade. Students played ghosts in the graveyard, but there was a twist. If they couldn't control their bodies and listening ears, they were squirted with water. Everyone knows ghosts can only see you if you move. And 5th grade. Move over, SpaceX! Things are heating up in the weather balloon deep dive as their groups have made great progress in the last week. With launch scheduled for May 10th, they are rapidly approaching a lot of their deadlines. Sponsorship letters have been drafted by PR, the parachute, balloon, and other equipment has been ordered by R&D, and the launch team has prepared a solid launch day procedure to follow. The weather and safety team has been working hand in hand with every group to promote a successful and legal launch, while recovery is using a high altitude balloon predictor to pinpoint where they expect the balloon to travel. In the upcoming weeks, look for posts on social media to promote JoJo 10. Here, Lincoln mixes up snack mix for any aliens that may encounter the weather balloon along the way. Now, instead of getting news from middle school this week, they were covering International Day yesterday, so we will get a full report on International Day next week, so stay tuned. And with that, we have reached our Kind Kid Shout Out! This week's Kind Kids come from middle school. Adrian and Tesla! And their teachers say both girls are always willing to help out and bring a positive attitude to the day. They go out of their way to be kind. Let's all strive to be as kind to one another as we can. Thank you, ladies. Keep up the good kindness. And last but not least, our words of wisdom. And these come on the heels of what Mrs. Stephanie said at a morning meeting this week about being flexible. You can't control the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails. So think about that next time you're a pirate. And that does it for another great news show. Have a great weekend and keep the great news coming. Bye-bye.